Hi, how you doing today?
I'm doing all right. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. Yeah, so I know last time we talked, you mentioned kind of feeling a lot of stress and overwhelm and like kind of being pulled from, away from the things that are important to you, like family, by work and other responsibilities. How's that been going?
Um, I still feel those things and I feel them a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's this weekend was my oldest son's birthday,
Hmm.
and he was turning 9. And at work we have, they talk quite a bit about work-life balance.
Hmm.
And they also have it's a company that says, put your family first in some of these things, and
Yeah.
sometimes it feels hard to do some of those things.
Mm-hmm.
And I wasn't able to leave when I wanted to on Friday. I tried to do everything possible to make that happen, so I could kind of surprise him on Friday, pick him up, and start the celebration, right? And so I wasn't able to do that, and for some of our benefits, when we talk about um, it's not unlimited time off, but we have a significant amount of time off,
Hmm.
and to kind of put in some of those requests, and they're not accepted until much later on, or sometimes not even until after. It's kind of makes that balance hard at times.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I see. So yeah, some trouble with balancing things. Sounds like, had kind of heart set on picking up kiddo from school so you could celebrate his birthday, get like that surprise in for him, but it couldn't work out. So I could see that being disappointing.
Yeah, it absolutely was, and um, yeah, there's it's it's getting a bit harder to wake up for work.
Mm-hmm.
Just not as satisfied with the work it is that I do, and yeah, so just kind of feel stuck. Just yeah, kind of
Mm-hmm.
stuck.
Absolutely. Yeah. Um, so, with the stress and all that, I wanted to ask, like we like to do some, assessments early on so we get an idea of like where you're at. And that way can kind of build on that information we gather from that and compare later on down the line if things are helping or not. Um, have you heard of a GAD-7 before? It's just a assessment for anxiety.
The GAD-7, the general anxiety disorder, it's a self-report. No, never heard of
Yeah, no, yeah. So I was wondering if
it.
you'd like to do that with me.
Yeah, no, that'd be wonderful.
Yeah, I'll get kind of an idea of where you're at with some of this stuff. Um,
Yep.
so with this assessment, it just asks about, over the last 2 weeks, how often have you been bothered by the following problems? You can answer like not at all, several days, more than half the days, or nearly every day for each of these questions. So
Okay.
yeah, so the first one is, have you been
And so
feeling.
could you go through the scale again?
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. So not at all, several days, more than half the days, or nearly every day.
Okay.
Okay.
Um,
So the
okay.
first
Can
one
I?
is. Oh,
Okay, perfect. Yep. Nope. I'll remember those responses. Yep.
okay, okay. So yeah, feeling nervous, anxious, or on edge.
Um, Probably more than half the days.
Okay. Yeah. Not being able to stop or control worrying when it happens.
Um, Not that much.
Okay.
Whatever the second option was.
Okay, that would be several days.
Several days.
Yeah. Worrying too much about different things, like is it just one thing you're worrying about or several different things?
Yeah, more than half the time.
Okay. And trouble relaxing?
Um, very, very few days.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And being so restless that it is hard to sit still.
Oh boy. Well, then this changes my previous answer to the question.
Oh,
Probably
really?
about half the time. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, probably about half the time.
Okay. And becoming easily annoyed or irritable.
A little more than half the time.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. Finally, like feeling afraid as if something awful might happen.
Um, a few times.
A few times. All right. So then the last sort of thing they ask, similar sort of responses of not difficult, somewhat difficult, very difficult, or extremely difficult. If you checked any of the problems, how difficult have they made it for you to do your work, take care of things at home, or get along with other people? Again, that's not at all, somewhat, very, or extremely.
Okay.
Okay. What? Sorry. Did you hear what I said? Or
Oh, could you the initial question?
oh yeah. So the initial question was like, how difficult has the other stuff we discussed in this questionnaire made it for you to do your work or take care of things at home, get along with other people?
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Um, somewhat difficult.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So that's a good sort of base understanding to have, like which sort of things um, are more impacted by the stress. And um, to me, it sounds like, from what you were saying about work, getting in the way of like stuff at home, that's kind of the biggest conflict. Is there other, like stressors that are really impacting your day to day, or is that the main thing?
Um, yeah, that's kind of the main thing, and
Mhm,
I feel as if in terms of what I want to do for work,
mhm,
I suspect that it's uh, going to change at some point. I
mhm,
definitely want to make a future career move,
mhm.
and it's hard to with three children. I definitely want to get out of teaching.
Okay. Okay. Um, do you have something else in mind, or is it just more of like just don't want to be in this field anymore?
Yeah, definitely want to be in another industry.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Um, it's good to know. So, since we're kind of like talking about where you're at, where you want to be, um, maybe now we could like set some goals and objectives around those goals, like the little steps that help you to get to that big goal. Um, I think I'm hearing kind of two goals, maybe like for short term is kind of balance, the time that you have at home and work better. Um, and then the other is to like find out a different kind of like long-term career path. Does that sound right?
Yep. No, that sounds pretty accurate.
Okay. And so with that, what I'm gonna, kind of push a little, see what sort of, um, changes could you maybe talk to your boss at work, or push for, advocate for yourself to increase the work life balance. Or maybe it's just setting a boundary, like they've said I can leave at this time, I'm going to leave at this time, even though I have X, Y, and Z to do. Sometimes it's hard for teachers to just leave at the end of the day, because there's always more to do.
Yeah, no, I can certainly do a better job of that. I've been asked to serve on several committees now, and those things were supposed to be on an interim basis.
Yeah.
There's also coverage and other things, and it's also one of those roles too where when I do want to take off or need to take off,
Mm-hmm.
there's still a lot of work that needs to be done in order for that to take place, right? With
Mm-hmm.
planning and all these other things. And so, um, yeah, I definitely could maybe ask for help now that I talk about it, and
Yeah.
maybe establishing certain maybe boundaries um, with my supervisor, and kind of already knowing to what my weekly schedule looks like.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so, for the end of this semester, and into future semesters, maybe playing a bigger role in trying to create my schedule so that I can have that flexibility and freedom.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. So it sounds like, um, maybe some first steps, some little objectives to work on. Not a little, but some objectives to work on between now and next time is having that conversation with your supervisor about, I'm going to try to leave this time every day. Just so that they have that expectation, and you can be like, if you see me hanging around, you can nudge me and say, hey, aren't you supposed to be going home, or whatever. And then, yeah, like you were saying, asking for help, seeing what the options are there, if there's uh, assistant floating teachers or something who can come in, so you have time to do the documentation or whatever it is that you're staying late to do. um, that I think would be a good place to start with that. You think that's something you could work on this week?
Yeah, I absolutely think that something I could work on. I think it's actually something good to work on since
Yeah.
here I'm being frustrated the entire time.
Mhm. Yeah, and then, like, if you talk to them and they say, we can't do that, then at least you tried, and you can find other ways to kind of, um, like we are saying, put boundaries around your time and your efforts. And then with the other goal, with thinking about a career path, I guess I just suggest, maybe taking a little time each day or a couple days this week and brainstorming, if I'm not going to be teaching, what am I going to be doing? Um, and that way you have kind of some more idea of what would be the logical next steps for pursuing that. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
no, definitely something I need to commit some more thought to.
Yeah, I imagine you need to talk to your wife about it too. You know, just whatever concerns, um, or relevant sort of factors. Think them over. Have some ideas. Sometimes just looking at all the information, talking it out, we'll get ideas flowing. Well, I think that's about all the time we have for this week. Do you feel good about the plan?
Yeah, no, it's definitely something I will work on, and
Mhm.
can't wait to connect in our next session.
Yeah, absolutely. I look forward to that too.
Perfect, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Have a good rest of your day.
You as well.